So welcome. Here we are. Let's see if I can get this straightened out a little bit. All right. Think right, feel right. It's my byline for promoting efforts to help people become happier, have more control over their emotions, have better mental health, and better emotional well-being. That's the purpose of this scope, you scopers. It's to help us learn how to have better mental health and emotional well-being through education. One of my key thoughts is that a lot of mental health and emotional well-being depends upon what you've learned, what you haven't learned, how you've learned it, a lot of it. The good news in all of this is that whatever the necessary learning is, we can get that, we can use that, we can find the tools and the skills to make ourselves feel better. I am Dr. Bob Izett, practicing cognitive behavioral psychologist with a keen interest in the issues of using our thoughts and learning how to manage our thoughts better so we feel better, and wedding those ideas to what's called positive psychology, which is focusing in on how to feel well rather than on pathologizing and overdiagnosing problems in people without providing a comprehensive solution to those things. This scope that we're working on here is not intended to be a substitute for seeking psychological help or counseling services when needed, nor is it a forum for diagnosis and treatment. Those are things we're not going to do. What we are going to do is really dig down on promoting education for mental health, emotional health, and well-being. My handle on Periscope is Feel Right Doc. Okay, that'll be easy to remember. Again, welcome to you viewers. Welcome to those of you who may be watching this on replay at some point. We're glad that you do, and we hope you come back. We really appreciate your comments and questions, so please do that. Send us comments, send us questions. We also love hearts. I see that we've been getting some here and very much appreciate that. We love your hearts. We love your comments. We want you to get involved. Please do. Oh, you'll find more of these thoughts and a wider range of topics on my website called thinkrightfeelright.net. You can find me there, so please check it out. You'll also see a link to my book, which you're staring at, called Think Right, Feel Right. It's a good book. Hope you'll check it out too. And if you want to email, you can email me at thinkrightfeelright1@gmail.com. Let's tie back into, and I'm going to turn the camera around here pretty quick. Are you ready? Okay, let's see if we can do that. Whoops, let's try it this way. Here I am. Okay, I'm back in the picture. Nice to see you. Welcome. My name is again Dr. Bob Izett, the Feel Right guy on Periscope. So last time we were talking about happiness traps. There are also emotional traps. These are things people rely on as a way of helping themselves to feel better. We all use them. Such things as success, money, getting stuff, looking better, looking skinnier, running faster, making more money. These are all things that people do. They do lots of things, keeping things extra orderly, extra nice, trying to look perfect. They work and they don't work. They work as temporary fixes. Probably none of them provide lasting avenues for happiness or emotional well-being. Welcome aboard, people. So please make comments, send hearts. My name again is Dr. Bob Izett. I'm talking about what I'm referring to as happiness traps, using, if you will, commonplace strategies to gain happiness and emotional well-being. As I was saying, they're used by many of us much of the time. They provide some relief, but they're not lasting solutions. Let's take one of them again, like money. Even though it's nice to have, people who have it or have a lot of it or who win the lottery gain happiness maybe temporarily, but then they habituate, and either they need to find more money or other avenues to pump up their sense of happiness and emotional well-being. So we're looking for ways to not necessarily keep going down those overly well-worn paths. Even, again, the use of substances, alcohol, cocaine, other substances are frequently attempts to elevate our mood and our happiness with mixed results. I want to talk about a case or two that I was involved with, and I will change the identities of these individuals enough so that their identity is protected. But let's meet for a moment Albert. Albert was a stockbroker, age 29, for the purposes of this presentation. Albert was a not particularly happy guy. In fact, Albert seemed to have a lot of depression, and he was angry a lot of the time. He didn't feel too well, but what he would do, he used a lot of these happiness trap solutions. For example, he bought a lot of stuff: neckties, clothes, musical instruments, even a boat or two, in order to try to elevate his happiness. And that stuff worked briefly. It was his go-to plan for how to make himself feel better. Didn't work all that well, though, because he found himself depressed and angry. He needed something more than all of that. So, that's Albert for you. Let's talk about one other, Jessie. Let's talk about her for a moment. What an interesting human being she was. Really nice, really bright, married, 2 children, and extremely focused on her appearance, particularly her face. It had to look perfect. 2-minute tennis. Hello there. Hi, Ryan. Thank you for joining in. Thanks for watching this. We're talking about a case that I worked with. Hi again, Ryan. And she focused in on keeping her face to look, making it look perfect. Well, what that meant was she was going to the dermatologist regularly, because any time there was the slightest blemish on her face that punctured her vessel of happiness, it was always a kind of greatly disturbing thing when anything on her face managed to appear that wasn't supposed to be there. The tiniest pimple, sometimes things you couldn't even see. So her happiness was paper thin, heavily dependent on an issue that she didn't have full control over, therefore making it a classic example of a happiness trap. So what we're going to be doing here is finding lots of ways to avoid those happiness traps. That's where we're going to start to dig down and get constructive rather than talk about why people aren't happy. We're going to start talking about how they can be happy. And oh, good to you, and thanks for your comment. And we'll be doing a lot more of that. You, if you can, make suggestions to topics that you want me to address. I have plenty, but I can use plenty more. And thank you again, Ryan, for inviting other followers. We always like that. We like you too. And we'll be working together here, and I will come back and hopefully have a few more of you. Ooh, how to not get angry. I have a short fuse. That's a great one. How not to get angry. Well, briefly, I'm not going to get into all of this today, but I love the topic because when you get angry, you puncture very severely your sense of well-being and happiness. It's really hard to be anywhere near happy and well when you're angry. Where does anger come from? Well, it doesn't come from out there, although we oftentimes think it does. We think it comes from people, places, and things, when actually, I'm going to point to it. It comes from within us. It comes from how we are thinking about a situation, a person, or event in a way that causes the anger. For example, I can't stand it when I'm treated like that. How dare they? Something or other, fill in the dots. And so we give ourselves, if you will, the cognitive basis for feeling anger. When we think like that, angrily, we evoke emotion, we evoke that fight and flight response, our heart rate increases, our pupils dilate, our muscles burst a little bit, our blood volume increases, all of these things in preparation for engaging in some kind of contest or conflict. Anger is a tricky emotion. It's overused. It can be protective. Often it's destructive. 2-minute tennis is back. Hey, good. Thank you, Ryan. Glad to see you again. So anger is something we're going to work on. We're also going to work on other disturbing emotions like anxiety, depression, guilt, worry, all those kind of troubling, disturbing emotions that sort of rob anger from us. So we'll learn how to manage them. Hey, this is awesome stuff. Well, thank you so much. We're gonna dig into more. Thank you again. I can't wait. That sounds good. I'll be back to you. Thanks for tuning in. Come see me again. This will be up soon. I'll do more with you. We'll get more involved. We'll have more people coming and tuning in and participating. We can all learn. Thanks a lot. Have a great night. See you soon. Oh, let me see. I have closing remarks that I want to be sure I cover. So, here we go. So, again, the website is thinkrightfeelright.net. The email address is thinkrightfeelright1@gmail.com. And I hope to see you again soon. And I appreciate your engagement here. And we'll all work together and we'll make things nice. Take care. Bye-bye.